Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello and welcome back to the Red Lasered Water Guy Show. Got a great show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about the mitochondria again. Big surprise there. But that's the key to our health, wellness, and happiness is having a functioning mitochondria in our cells. And the latest research is showing that there's free-floating mitochondria in the blood also. And so that's why we get the results we get with our bio-optimization tools. Come up with some new slogans today or ways of explaining what we have. It's restorative frequency protocols that help raise your vibration, and then the body can start to heal itself more naturally itself because it initiates the healing process and excites the mitochondria to where it produces more ATP. So we're going to be talking about that. It's regenerative, not just anti-aging, but it's actually regenerating the body, helping the body rebuild. You know, if there's still blood supply there and you can get plenty of oxygen and get the toxins away from that area, the body can regenerate just about anything that's been done to it. You know, I proved that with my eyes. And again, I wouldn't use anybody else's red laser because theirs is red, ours is red and infrared, with specific frequencies for the human body that are programmed into it. And so, but, you know, when you go from wearing glasses for 52 years, near side in one eye, far side in the other, astigmatism in both, and, you know, in a very short period of time, just a few months, all of a sudden you don't need reading glasses. And then a few months more, you don't need glasses in the daytime. A few months more, you don't need glasses at night. That is regenerative. And, you know, the eye doctor I went to when I lost one of my lenses, I was snow skiing in the moguls up in Bryan Head, Utah, and did a header, lost one of my lenses in the middle of all of this. Went to the eye doctor here in Las Vegas, get the lens replaced. He said he'd never seen an eye correct itself the way mine had. And there's a whole program on that, a whole video on my YouTube channel. Just youtube.com/@TheRedLaserGuy. You can see that there and a lot of others. There's a video there on where I cut my foot, and it shows that it's cellular repair in the moment. When you get on a new injury, takes the trauma out of a new injury in 30, 45 seconds, stops the bleeding in a third of the time, heals in a third of the time with little or no scar. And there's no downtime, you know. Anyhow, there's a video on my YouTube channel about that too. But tonight we're going to talk about anti-aging to reverse aging by understanding your mitochondria. And we're going to go a few other directions, you know, to get there. But if you're feeling sluggish, if you're feeling unfocused, brain fog, anything, feeling lethargic, confused, all of that can lead back to dehydration. And dehydration lowers your vibration significantly when you really think about it. So let's go ahead and get into it here. If we can bring up the slideshow. And we'll be ready to go. Okay, here again, you know, Joe Blanton, the Red Lasered Water Guy, and I'm here to help you, help yourself, help your body heal itself naturally. You know, the body has to do the healing. You know, drugs don't heal, doctors don't heal, surgery don't heal. Not that there's not a time and a place once in a while for those, but not nearly the way it's being used. It's not preventative. It's not restorative. It's actually an abuse to the body. It's lowering the vibration. Every one of those lowers your vibration. If you have a headache and you take a Tylenol, now the body has to recover from the toxins in the Tylenol and get rid of the cause of the headache because all you did is cover it up. And what we're all about is not covering up anything, but actually helping the body initiate its own healing process by having better microcirculation, more oxygen, and more life force energy in the blood. And then by hydrating the body. And so we'll get into that here. Again, I'm working with a company called Pure Vibrance. I've been in the health and wellness industry. Grew up sick all the time, asthma, hay fever, sinuses, and tons of allergies. Living on a farm in Indiana, putting up hay. So I was wearing a mask back then, but it was to keep from having an asthma attack when I was, we're talking 1955, all right? And so, but in my mid-20s, I healed all that holistically with lifestyle change, a lot of detoxing, some pretty crude detoxing, I might add, and, changing everything in my, because your lifestyle is what's creating your health and wellness, your habits. So we have to talk ourselves into changing. If you want things in your life to change, you got to change things in your life. It's really that simple. Okay. What was Einstein's definition of insanity? Doing the same thing the same way and expecting different results. That is a little bit insane, but I was there for a long time. And when I changed and actually started changing things in my life, then my body responded very nicely. So since my mid-20s, I've been healthy ever since. I've quit listening to doctors and went the holistic route, and it's paid off very well. Still don't listen to doctors, no drugs, not on any drugs or anything like that. I'm still out climbing mountains and, having a lot of fun in life, because with our health, we can have a lot of fun. So Pure Vibrance, I said all that to say this. I was working with nutrition and different things in the nutrition, health and wellness area. And about 15 years ago, I came across the frequency protocols for helping the body heal itself. So again, I'm starting to call that restorative frequency protocols. And that's what we have here to help the body restore itself. So we're all about self-care for self-healing, having the tools with you to take care of yourself and your family in a preventative matter. And then also, if something happens, you've got all the tools there to help the body accelerate the healing. And so, again, here's my contact information. You reach me at joe@theredlaserguy.com. My phone number, 469-766-5511. Just give me a call, send me a text, either one. And then I have a YouTube channel that's got a ton of good stuff on it. It's just youtube.com/@theredlaserguy. Or by Joe Blanton, BYJOEBLANTON, will also get you to the YouTube channel. So there's 5 important things we're going to talk about here for wellness right now. And number 1 is air and oxygen. Okay. Well, air and oxygen are the most prevalent need, because in minutes without air and oxygen, you die. Okay. And so that's the most critical thing to our body, is the air and the oxygen in the air that we breathe. And we'll cover that a little bit here in a minute. The second thing is water. Okay, water is the second thing that'll take us out, as quicker than air. Air is the one that takes us out quicker, the fastest, and then water is the second fastest. And then nutrition, we can go for weeks sometimes without that before we pass. But the thing that goes right with water is sea salt. Unprocessed sea salt is critical. Salt's actually the third most critical thing in the body after oxygen and water. The salt is the key, because salt, unprocessed sea salt, is got the minerals in it, the trace minerals, etc., that the body uses to communicate cell to cell, along with several other functions. Minerals, control all the functions in the body are controlled, with minerals for a communication path. And so sea salt is right there with water. The next is sunshine. Okay, we need sunshine to be healthy, because we need those red and infrared rays from the sun to trigger and excite the mitochondria to give us additional electrons in our blood, because the electron transfer chain in the mitochondria are what produce the ATP, the adenosine triphosphate, that gives us our life force energy. It's the engine that runs our body. And so that's critical. Then next is nutrition. And in nutrition, you want to eat food that's as close to nature as possible. You want it to, as I think it's Jack Kruse says, you want to eat food that's been excited by the sun. So if you eat something, if you're tearing open a plastic wrapper or cellophane wrapper to eat your food, it's electron deficient, and it's not going to add energy to your body. It's going to take energy away. It's going to weaken your body. But the body is super good at robbing Peter to pay Paul to make you think you're healthy right up until it can't do it anymore. And then all of a sudden, boom, it just happens. Well, it didn't happen all of a sudden. It's progressive. It could take 10 years, maybe 15 years, just look at drinking sodas and stuff like that. It ain't going to kill you today. However, it will shorten your life and make your last years a lot less pleasant, okay, because you're going to be vibrating so low that there's going to be a lot of discomfort in most cases. Very seldom is not the case. Okay, so air. Let's go back to the air. Air is an average of 20.9% oxygen at sea level and 78% of its nitrogen, approximately 78%. Okay, so think about it. When you get up to 14,000 feet, when you're climbing mountains, the 20.9% goes down. That's why there's so much problems with people climbing that are not used to it. Or it's like I'm looking at climbing a mountain in Argentina, Pico de Azaraba, and it is 22,600 feet. Well, we have to stage 6 days rather, to adjust to that oxygen level at that altitude before we can go to the next camp. And then we stage there for a couple of days to adjust again, because we're way late, we're getting down. If you get down below 18%, I think it is where, most people start having problems. So anyhow, air and oxygen. So what you want to do, oh, here it is. Humans begin to suffer adverse health effects when the oxygen level of their breathing air drops below 19.5% oxygen. Okay, and so that's where a lot of people, people that can't even go to Brian Head, Utah. It's 9,500 feet base elevation, and they have trouble breathing there because it's a thinner air. So you want to take slow, deep diaphragmatic breaths. And, if your shoulders raise up when you take a deep breath, you're not breathing into the diaphragm. The air exchange with blood takes place at the bottom of the lungs. And so when you inhale, you need to have your diaphragm should expand out and not your shoulders come up. Most people, the more stress they're under, the shallower they breathe. And when people get afraid, a lot of times they stop breathing altogether. That's part of the fight or flight, syndrome. And so you want to learn to practice your breaths and take slow, deep diaphragmatic breaths. And in doing that, you also want to stand up or sit up straight. When you're laying down, the pressure's on the top of the lungs and the stomach, and that can hinder, taking a deep breath if you've got anything going on, like a cold or anything like that. But sitting up straight or standing straight is a great way to get more air and more oxygen into the bottom of your lungs, because that's where it needs to be. So shallow breathing into the chest is not a real healthy breathing. There's stale air at the bottom. So that's another thing to think about. Go outside, okay? Go outside and get some exercise, and that'll help with your breathing also. Just a long walk, long being relative to your condition. And so, but outside, you're going to get fresher air. At least it's real fresh out here. It's blowing about 40 miles an hour. But going outside, you also get the sun exposure. There's so many benefits. And if you go outside into nature, that's even better, because nature is what transmutes the carbon dioxide back to oxygen. Okay, we transmute oxygen into carbon dioxide, and then the plants transmute the carbon dioxide back to oxygen for us. And that's why the problem, is cutting down all the rainforest and losing all the trees and everything is causing such a concern. And rightfully so, because we need those plants to transmute the harmful EMF. I mean, not harmful EMF. Some of them do that also, by the way. But to transmute the carbon dioxide back to oxygen. That's why it's good to have plants in your house. There's certain plants that do that more prevalent than others, or prevalent's not the right word probably, but anyhow, they do that better or more noticeably. So, you might look up what plants you can have in your house for that reason. And then drink lots of water. Surprise, surprise. Okay. And here's the reason: air and salt do not work without water. And water doesn't work to do anything with the body without salt and air. All three of them are required. And so that's why it's important to have the water in there also. And lots of water means, half your body weight in ounces, something along that line. If it's structured water, if it's not structured water and you don't have enough salt, then you're going to end up drinking more than that, but it's not going to be assimilated in the body, because salt is what holds the water in there's a dividing line between the water inside the cell and outside the cell based on osmotic pressure. And salt is what causes that. So there's a book out there called Your Body's Many Cries for Water. We've talked about this. I highly recommend you read it. It says you're not sick, you're thirsty. Don't treat thirst with medication. And that's what's going on out there right now, is a lot of people are treating their thirst with medication, and then they're dealing with the side effects of it. Well, your health is determined by water and unprocessed sea salt in the right ratios there. And so Your Body's Many Cries for Water is an excellent book for you to take a look at and read. It was life-changing for me 35 years or 40 years ago, something like that. So the quality of your life is determined by the quality and the quantity of your water. And so when everybody's drinking bottled water and filtered water and ionized water, a lot of water's out to the high pH water. Okay. And so filtered water, the filtering water process destructures the water molecules in the process of filtering it out. It's H2O is what it is. 2 parts hydrogen and 1 part oxygen. And we'll show you more about that in a little bit. So when the water is no longer structured the way that it was intended by nature, the health of your cells suffer. Okay, the functioning of your cells. Specifically, the protein molecules within your cells don't work the right way. This can negatively affect and impact muscles, your muscular, and your tissue functioning. Okay, because proteins are responsible for the structure and the function of your body, and that's critical. And the mitochondria are involved in protein folding also, not just in ATP production. Your body is over 70% water, but molecularly, you are 99.92% water molecules. Now, think about that one for a second. If you're 99.92% water molecules, and your blood's 94% water, and your brain is 78% water, and your eyes are 98% water, would you start to believe that water is the most critical thing to your health and your wellness and the functioning of your body the way nature intended for our bodies to function? So dehydration, even 1% dehydration, can cause brain fog. It can cause the eyes to be affected and blur vision. Water is just the most critical thing out there for us. If we want to maintain health and wellness and flexibility and ease of movement, balance, all of that is tied to being hydrated. So what is structured water? You've heard me talk about it over and over. Structured water is also known as hexagonal water because it forms a hexagonal cluster that looks like this. So on the left, we have unstructured water. It's been filtered. It's been ionized, whatever happened to it. It's been sitting in the city water line pipes for, days or weeks, and not seeing any sunshine or anything out of nature, no movement. And so it's very, very unhealthy water. Structured water is what we talk about, because structured water here has the hexagonal effect, and you don't see any pollutants in it, and you don't see any chlorine in it, in the molecular structure of it. So on the left, we have what I referred to as a little bit ago as H2O, 2-part hydrogens, 1-part oxygen. That's what I've been taught my whole life was water. Okay, well, it is water, but when you go to hexagonal water, it's H3O2. So it has an extra hydrogen molecule and an extra oxygen molecule. And it's microclustered to where it starts to hydrate the body through osmosis instead of having to be digested, you know. So, and this is how you can get structured, microclustered, ionized, energized water programmed with human blueprint frequencies. Sunshine is what we're replicating here. The unit on the bottom, the what we call the hydration ionizer, it can be a bottle topper. It can go on top of a plastic bottle or some of the glass bottles, and you can drink through it. And it's replicating a Rocky Mountain stream. It's vortexed in, it's vortexed out. It's programmed with frequencies, what we would call restorative frequency protocols. And then we use the 3 lasers, the red and infrared laser. It replicates sunshine, but sunshine also has the blue and violet, rays in it, and it also has the green rays. And we've got documentation. I did a interview with Dr. James Applegate, interviewing how the 3 lasers, our 3 lasers, trigger the mitochondria in different ways that are complementary of each other to accelerate the electron chain transfer and give enough energy to that cell for that cell to do its work. So when you pour your water through or drink your water through the hydration ionizer, you're accomplishing structured water that's microclustered, ionized, energized, and to program and help the body heal itself. Then if you laser it with 1, 2, or 3 of the lasers before you drink it, you're adding even more life force energy, because every photon in the laser beam energetically gives up an electron into the water in our body, or the water we're drinking, just like sunshine does. So we're replicating sunshine with our lasers. We're replicating the Rocky Mountain stream with our hydrating ionizer. So this is 2 ways that you can carry, I carry my computer bag with me all the time. I got them, in different places. I got them in my vehicles. I keep the lasers with me all the time, and the hydrating ionizer to where I'm drinking the healthiest water on the planet, because I'm worth it. Okay. I'm all about prevention. I want to stay healthy and keep playing. Playing is another way to stay healthy, by the way. Laughing and playing, it de-stresses you, it raises your vibration, helps your body heal itself, gives you movement. A good belly laugh is very healing. So that's just, how you can help yourself, help your body, help yourself, you help your friends, your family to stay healthy and happy and live a longer life. So what are some of the benefits of drinking structured water? Experts such as Dr. Pollack believe that structured water acts like a power source that can help us stay maximally hydrated. Okay, because of the many roles that water and hydration have in the body, structured water is said to potentially benefit energy levels, digestion and regularity, enzymes that help with nutrition, absorption, concentration, muscle contraction, positive moods, ability to sleep well, blood pressure and cholesterol levels regulated, respiration, endurance, weight control, kidney and liver health, joint pain. This list can go on, because every function in your body requires water, period. Okay, remember, you're 99.92% water molecules. The lubrication in your knees and all your joints. All the joints are lubricated with water, not coffee, not soda, not orange juice, water, period, water. Nothing replaces water or substitutes for water. And so that's really, not something we were taught or conditioned to believe. And as a matter of fact, we're conditioned by the advertisements and all that stuff to believe just the opposite. So, unprocessed sea salt contains about 75 or more essential ionic minerals that the body needs. And common table salt, it's not really salt, but they call it table salt, has only 2. sodium and chloride. And it also has aluminum added as a non-caking agent. Of course, they don't want it to stick together. They want it to pour out, easily for you. So aluminum has been documented over and over and over and over to have many problems, which we won't go into. And our bodies need 1 to 2 teaspoons of unprocessed sea salt daily. It's like water. Water goes through our body. For instance, we exhale out just in normal activity 1/3 of a quart to a half a quart of water every day. Now, if we're out walking, if we're out climbing mountains, if we're out snow skiing, or if we're out, doing physical activity, working, pouring concrete, whatever that is, we're using more. We're exhaling out more. So we have to replace that water every day. So we want free water in our body every day. We want free access to the trace minerals and everything in sea salt every day, newly supplied. And then we want free electrons in our body every day, which can come from the lasers, or being out in the sunshine, or taking your shoes off and grounding to the earth and getting free electrons that way. That's the way we will keep our body healthy and happy. So anyhow, you can sprinkle it on your food. You can take it, pinch of it, take a little drink of water, put a pinch on your tongue, let it dissolve. It triggers a lot of hormonal functions and stuff, and then wash it down. And when you have that hunger thirst, drink a glass of water first, And number one, you won't overeat as often, and that may be all you need is a glass of water instead of eating something. So take a big drink of water, put an eighth to a pinch on your tongue, let it dissolve and wash it down. I prefer the Redmond's Real Salt. It's from an underground mine, so it hadn't been exposed to a lot of the pollutants, and testing we've done shows that it vibrates the highest and has the fewest heavy metals. Okay, and so energy. Salt. We must have sustainable energy to keep our bodies going healthy. Unprocessed sea salt is the body's matrix system for transporting energy throughout the entire human organism. So what I was mentioning earlier, it's like the telephone wire for our body. It communicates, it's the trace minerals the body uses to communicate from the brain, the autonomic nervous system, into the heart. The entire organism is dependent upon sea salt, the trace minerals and et cetera in sea salt. You can't even create a thought or move your body without the trace minerals in salt. That's how critical it is. Remember, air, water, and salt are the 3 things we need, and you can't, any one of them is deficient, there's going to be a lower vibration, and you're not going to feel good. And it can get worse from there as your vibration comes down. Healing. Okay, salt plays a big part in self-healing by helping your body to digest your food and turn it into living tissues, as well as helping to transmit nerve impulses that contract your muscles. Balance. In order for your cells to function normally, a salt-water balance must be maintained. That's what I was talking about with the osmotic pressure, and your mitochondria depend on that also. Alkalinity. Salt and water are also necessary for making the sodium bicarbonate your body needs to alkalize your food. We eat for maintaining the alkalinity of our body and lymph fluids. Okay. A deficiency of sea salt is equal to a deficiency of energy. Think about it that way. Without salt, there is no life. Back in the Egyptian days and some of the earlier cultures, salt was actually used as a currency for buying and selling and trading stuff. Salt, they knew, was that critical. Okay, human blood plasma bears salts of sodium, magnesium, potassium, and other electrolytes in a strikingly similar proportion to seawater. Yes, seawater. Okay. Navy surgeons during World War II, it said, used diluted seawater for emergency transfusion when blood plasma was unavailable. So that's how close it is to our blood. As a matter of fact, your Cerebrospinal fluid is actually basically exactly like the ocean. Your brain is housed in it, your whole spinal, everything's in a sack of seawater, all the cerebral spinal fluids. Okay, it's only one molecule different from seawater. The cerebral spinal fluid is only one molecule different from seawater. Every single neural stem cell, and that's the cells that will develop into neurons that create the entire nervous system, central nervous system, comes into contact with cerebral spinal fluid as it develops, and the cerebral spinal fluid informs it as to how to develop. So, is salt and water critical? I would say so. So, this inner seawater is not only patterns your whole central nervous system, but it also bathes your brain in neurochemicals, and more importantly, in electricity. Because again, the electricity travels through the salt, trace minerals, etc. So, what not to do? Okay. Just because there is water in it does not mean it will hydrate your body. Caffeine drinks, coffee, tea, alcohol, manufactured beverages all dehydrate your body. They are diuretics, okay? They cause your body to get rid of the water they are dissolved in, plus some more water from your body's reserves. And if you don't have any reserves, then you start really going into a downward spiral, and starting to take your body into its drought mode. Your body has a automated drought mode. When you get so much, every bit of dehydration you have after a certain point, it starts cutting water off to different functions in your body, or restricting the water to it, with the brain and the heart getting the most of it to keep you going. So caffeine drinks are the background to all health problems, and its counterpart is aspartame and other artificial sweeteners. That is 80+% of the root cause of headaches and all the lower vibrations that are causing all the disease and discomforts in the society today. So, ways to stay hydrated. Let's take the energy back up a little bit here. Okay. Drinking of water, about half of your body weight in ounces, is what most people are talking about. But there's times that may change, again, based on how active you are. You may need more water. You will not need less water, but you may need more water. Okay, eat more fruits and vegetables. Fruits are more for cleansing the body. Vegetables are for building the body. Balance electrolytes. There used to be a lot of electrolytes and minerals, etc., in fruits and vegetables, not so much anymore. So you need some good supplementation. Consume raw, unprocessed sea salt. Helps your body balance water and potassium levels. Exercise. Increase circulation and more nutrition in your cells. Exercise is necessary. There's that saying out there, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. Okay, that's real important. And what you're losing is your overall health without exercise. We're not meant to, we're meant to exercise, and we're meant to walk. We're meant to use our body, in all different ways to stay healthy. And so the more automated we get, the electric bicycles and, power scooters, everything is, fun, and it's easy to do right now. But again, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And so we need to be, more athletic, more, just more active, physically. So exercise is one of the best ways to stay hydrated. Of course, take your water with you and be drinking at the same time. Otherwise, it'll dehydrate you. So avoid dehydrating beverages, sugary drinks and foods, alcohol, and caffeine. Avoid those dehydrating beverages. Okay, your mitochondria are the key to anti-aging, health, and longevity. No exception. Aging, according to Dr. Doug Wallace, aging is simply too many dysfunctional mitochondria. And, every cell has hundreds to several thousand mitochondria. And that's the engine that's generating your life force energy for you. Now, the number of mitochondria depends on the work that cell has to do. And the reason that he's saying aging is simply too many dysfunctional mitochondria is cells don't have enough, are not creating enough energy. The mitochondria inside the cells is not creating enough energy for that cell to do its work. Every cell in your body has got a function. It's got a job to do. It's got work to do to keep you healthy. But if it's not generating enough energy because you're dehydrated, whatever, negative thinking, emotional problems, all of that comes into play because it's all determining how the electron chain function and everything in your body happens. Don't have enough salt, all of that comes into play. So if it doesn't have enough energy to do its work, that's where your body starts to have a problem. And then if you get enough dysfunctional mitochondria, then it multiplies. It's like, that's how you get weaker and weaker. Your muscles don't have enough strength because the mitochondria in your muscles don't have enough energy, for you to do what you're wanting to do. So he says about 80% of today's diseases are because of a bioenergetic deficit in the cells, which is that's a short way of saying what I said. Okay. Your mitochondria are not producing enough life force energy for you to function in that matter. So the more energy you have in your cells, the healthier you are and the longer you're going to live. Remember, I came back to it. We want as many extra electrons in our body as we can get every day. We want plenty of free water in our body that the body has to draw on every day. It has to be replaced. The electrons has to be replaced every day. And so that's going to help us, stay healthier and happier and go longer. Same with the sea salt. It's got to be replaced every day. So anti-aging with light therapy. Optimize your, Jack Kruse says optimize your light, your water, and your magnetism. Well, the light from the sun is red and infrared light for a reason. It's giving life energy into our body. Infrared excites and optimizes our mitochondria, and that's what our lasers do. All right, because again, we're replicating sunshine there. So if you're indoors a lot, you can just laser yourself, 1 or 2 minutes at a time, 3 or 4 times a day, and it's priceless to what that will do for your overall health and well-being in a very short period of time, because lasers work at the speed of light, just like sun does, and just like our body does. Our body works at the speed of light also. Exposing your skin to sunlight stimulates the mitochondria to produce more easy water and ATP. Easy water is the fourth phase of water. Water is it's fascinating. It's the only thing that we have on Earth right now that can exist in 3 different forms and still be water, and that's ice, water, and steam or vapor. Okay, but there's a book out there called The Fourth Phase of Water, and that's easy water. It's exclusion zone water. And that's what the mitochondria produce when they have optimal wellness of water, salt, and stimulating of the electrons, free electrons. And so that's what, again, the lasers help with free electrons. The structured water helps with the water, and then it's up to you to add the salt. Okay. Magnetism is grounding. So that's all it's talking about here, is to optimize your magnetism. It's grounding, so while you're out getting your sunlight, take off your shoes and your shirt, or, the more body you have exposed to the sun, the more free electrons, etc., the more stimulation you're going to get. Not to the point of getting sunburned, but the more you're out in sun, you become conditioned where you won't get sunburned too. Take off your shoes, put them in dirt, walk in the wet grass, and your body receives free electrons from the earth. Grounding. So anti-aging with light therapy. Optimize your light and your water. Sunlight is the best therapy, and over 50% of the rays from the sun are the red and infrared light. It help optimize your mitochondria. Sunlight at daybreak and dusk, you can look directly into it. That'll help with the mitochondria in your eyes and help stimulate the whole body waking up. It works. It also helps activate and regulate your uh, what's that system? The Where you wake up and go to sleep. Circadian rhythm. That's it. So it helps with the circadian rhythm. And then exposing your skin to sunlight stimulates the mitochondria to produce more EZ water again, exclusion zone water. And what that means is the body works best in the mitochondria area to have no protons in the water. So EZ water is electron-rich water and no protons. And the mitochondria produce that on its own when it is healthy and functioning correctly. So anyhow, when you have electron-rich water in your blood, in your body, it increases the redox potential, and that's the net negative charge in the cell for the cell to do its work. So that's what we've been talking about all along here, is having enough net negative charge in the cell for that cell to have the energy to do its work. And so the red, infrared, green, and violet natural lasers from pure vibrance, your mitochondria are the key to your health and wellness, longevity, and fun. And I'm all about quality of life and having fun, all right? And so aging is simply too many dysfunctional mitochondria. Can't drive that one home enough. And there's too many sick cells because the mitochondria cannot produce enough life force energy for the cell to do its work, causing 80% of the diseases. You'll notice I have a lot of repetition here because repetition is how we learn. Everything you know how to do unconsciously, where you're consciously competent at it, you learn through repetition, spaced repetition. And so the more energy you have in your cells, the healthier and longer you can live. So every photon in a laser beam energetically gives up an electron into the water in your body, adding free electrons, increasing redox potential, reducing free radicals and inflammation in our system. So again, our lasers, we have added additional frequencies to all three of them. So we have a whole symphony of frequencies. Typically, your red laser is going to be around 635, 650 nanometers. Ours is 660 through 870. That's why it's red and infrared. And so it relaxes and excites the mitochondria, producing 30% more life force energy in 30 seconds. Because again, it's working at the speed of light. When you use the laser on your body, it upregulates gene expression, building a healthier protein. And again, proteins are responsible for the structure and the function of your body. So it increases energy current in the cells and toughens the immune system. The immune system's the key to everything. The immune system is what keeps us functioning well and keeps us healthy. That's what, if we are exposed to anything, it's up to the immune system to take care of it. And when you're fully hydrated, your immune system is free to work. The more dehydrated you are, then you start getting sticky blood, then the white blood cells are caught up in the sticky blood, the relayed blood, and they're not free to do their work. It's really that simple. So regenerates damaged tissue structure by increasing cell activity and stimulating the body's natural healing processes. Stimulates the lymphatic drainage, detoxification, and weight loss. Okay, detoxification is so critical to our body healing itself. When you're dehydrated, there's not enough free water to remove the toxic tissues from around the cells. And after it builds up so much, that's what's the start of pain, because you got more toxic tissue there than you got oxygen. My definition of pain is lack of oxygen on a cellular level. That's why we demonstrate reduction of pain so quick. Is in 30 seconds, we give you 30% more life force energy in your blood, better microcirculation with more oxygen. And that's why it works so quickly. So skin purification and stimulating fibroblast. Fibroblast is a type of skin cell that secretes collagen proteins into the dermis, the layer of the skin just below the outermost layer. These cells play an important role in wound healing and maintaining skin firmness and tightness. Okay, you want to tighten up your skin a little bit. Okay, lessening the side effects of diabetes. Diabetes is caused by dehydration and lack of sea salt. Reducing scar tissue internally and externally, which is critical. You know, people have had so many surgeries, a lot of people have, and there's scar tissue internally that's causing problems in their bodies. And so when you have better microcirculation, more life force energy, and better oxygenation, that's what the body needs to start reducing scar tissues and stuff. Improves psoriasis, rosacea, eczema, sun-damaged skin, facial texture. Stimulates parasympathetic nervous system, brings you into out of fight or flight into relax and heal. We can use the red laser in less than a minute. Normally we can level somebody's hips without touching them because we relax the muscles that much in that quick a time. And when you relax the muscles, the body comes back into alignment on its own. It's the stress in the muscles that's pulling it out of alignment. Okay. Low-level light therapy. Technology, I'm going to skip that one. Okay, the photons from the lasers, the red and infrared laser, are absorbed by the mitochondrial cytochromes in your skin cells. Consequently, electron transport, adenosine triphosphate, ATP, nitric oxide release, blood flow, reactive oxygen species increase, and device signaling pathways get activated. All that happens at the speed of light. Stem cells can be activated, allowing increased tissue repair and healing, and all that came from PubMed, the National Library of Medicine. That's where that came from. And that's using the regular red laser. That's not using our red and infrared laser, I might add. So the violet laser improves microcirculation by nitric oxide release, which works as an accelerating agent in wound healing, activates telomerase with maximum anti-aging effects, stimulates and strengthens the immune system, increases cell generation, which is anti-aging and age reversal, and acts as an antimicrobial, affecting viruses, bacteria, and fungi. And it decreases the telomere. This is good. It decreases the telomeres of DNA in the cell to essentially bring it back to a stem cell-like brand new cell state, so that it can divide and create new cells. It excites the electrons in the mitochondrial transfer chain to initiate the increased production of ATP, life force energy, in the cells and in the blood, because again, there's new research that shows that we have free-floating mitochondria in our cells. Green laser improves oxygen carryability of the red blood cells and boosts the brain function. So I'm going to jump through here. Okay, and so this is how you can help yourself, help your body, help itself, heal itself more naturally. And again, you can help your whole family, all your family and friends, by understanding how to replicate your sunshine in your Rocky Mountain stream anytime, anywhere. Keep yourself healthy, happy, and having fun. All right. So we got a full line of products to help you do this. Everything here is charged with human blueprint frequencies in some area of function. And when you use the product, it helps the body raise its own vibration for self-healing. And it's really that, really that simple. And so if you're into, wanting to start helping yourself heal yourself more quickly, it's all about upregulating your gene expressions. We stimulate stem cell production, lengthen telomeres. Just give me a call, 469-766-5511. We've got discounted packages to save you a lot of money on the startup. And this is Joe Blanton, the red laser guy, helping you help yourself, help your body heal itself naturally. Remember, nobody else can vibrate for you. It's up to you, and it's up to you to get started doing it. And I'm here to help you. So Look forward to talking to you soon. Give me a holler. Go to my YouTube channel, check us out. And so take care, have fun, and good night.